Hi, welcome to my video. Today I will teach you how to be more feminine. In today's culture, there is so much shame associated around femininity. Feminism is teaching us to become hyper-independent, and hustle culture tells us to put work over our well-being. Femininity is then considered weak. That's the message that our culture is giving us. And although it's good that women have more opportunities, are becoming self-sufficient, and have successful careers, we cannot lie to ourselves. We still do not feel fulfilled. We still feel disconnected. We still feel unhappy. We still feel depleted. That's because we are too much into our masculine energy. And I get it. It is rewarding. I'm a professional soccer player, and if I wasn't in my masculine energy, I wouldn't be where I am today. I have learned to compete, to go after my goals, to win. That was necessary for me to get to the highest level possible. But when my masculine energy overrides everything in my life, when I cannot disconnect from it and tap into my femininity, I realize how anxious and how insecure I become. And that's why you need to learn how to tap into your feminine energy again so you can be whole and in harmony again. Because I know that if you're a young, ambitious woman and you have tons of accomplishments, you still feel miserable. You still have a part of you that is suffering. And it doesn't matter how productive you are or what your performance is, there is something wrong. You feel it in your bones. And that's because you have lost touch of your truest essence, and it's your feminine divine. And today, in this video, I will give you the solution to that. How to be more feminine, how to tap into that femininity, because it is a skill, it is a practice that you need to do. And get excited, I swear this will change your life. If you're a highly masculine woman, this is what you need to hear. The first thing you want to do is to separate your life and your work. And maybe later on, when you're at work, you'll be able to use more of your feminine energy to be a powerful leader, but don't worry about that right now. For the moment, use your work to be the time where you're highly masculine. So you're goal-driven, assertive, logical, structured, all about doing stuff, action-oriented. That's when you can be in your masculine energy. But once it's time to settle and be into your feminine energy, you need to own that moment. You need to be in your feminine energy when you're not at work. This is the time that you need to practice. And the way that I do this is I like to create two different personas based on what I'm doing in my life. So if I'm at work, I have this persona called the notorious BSG. So for me, when I am at work and I want to tap into that masculine energy, I put like this personality on where it's my goal-driven self. It's the one that is ruthless, resilient, competitive. I need that drive, and that's my notorious BSG. I didn't come up with that. It was the fans that came up with that, and I was like, that fits me. I love that. But then, in the past, I would go home and I would still feel that same energy with everything I did, with the productivity, the habits, the checklist, everything I had to do, my errands, like everything was about my masculine energy and being productive, and it felt so draining. It really did. It did not make me feel happy. And I was like, what is wrong? That's because I needed some space to relax, to be in flow and fluidity, to be present. And that is my feminine energy. So that persona is called the beautiful Bia. So beautiful Bia is the nickname for Bianca because my name is Bianca. But no one calls me Bia. And I've been trying to make that stick around, but no one wants to listen to me. But Bia is this beautiful person that is creative, that is at peace in the moment, that is playful, that loves pleasure, that is open-minded to new opportunities and new experiences, that loves to connect with people, that loves being spiritual. That is beautiful Bia. So I challenge you to create those two different personas, give them names, give them characteristics, give them hobbies that they have or mindsets that they have. Just separate two different personas to your masculine and your feminine energy. The next step that you want to do is slow down in everything that you do. So when you're in your life, when you're in your feminine energy, just take the time to slow down. Don't rush. Don't try to do everything quick. That was something that I had as a bad habit. Everything I did had to be done quick because I have no time to lose. But I'm like, can I fucking relax? Because that is so stressful to always be in the state of fight or flight. That really raised my stress levels and my anxiety levels for no reason. So when you eat food, when you cook food, when you go on a walk, when you're talking, just take your time and relax and be fluid with it. Don't rush. There's literally no point of rushing because there's only one moment that matters, and it's right now. The way that I can get myself to slow down sometimes is imagining if I had a camera that followed me everywhere, how embarrassed I would feel to just be rushing around everywhere. Like, it's so much nicer when it's someone that is just flowing and almost floating through life, and it really gives you like the main character energy that you want to feel. When I chew my food, I try to like really chew my food. When I cook my food, I try to not splatter everything around. I try to really take my time. And you'd see how much it changes. It makes you feel more in touch with the moment. And that's all about being feminine, is when you're really in touch with the present moment. The next step is to make time for sensuality. I don't want to just emphasize sexuality. I mean sensuality, about the 5 senses that we have. And it's all about exploring our physical senses to really root us in the present moment. Take the time to notice the flavors in your food. Take the time to notice the silk of your pajama. Take the time to notice the smell of your candle. Take the time to listen to the wind outside or the birds, or notice trees and nature. It's very important to ignite our 5 senses, because the feminine energy is all about the sensuality. It's all about being really rooted in the present moment. I've said that before, but it's very important that it's all about the now, because when you're in your masculine energy, it's always about planning and future focus and who you want to be and thriving to be a better version. But it's important to step back and be rooted in, this is my dream life right now. I'm living it. This is me living life. And to be aware of what's going on around you in your physical space really helps you being present and being in your femininity. So play with it. Discover your sensual self by challenging you to do different things, such as doing yoga. When you do yoga, you explore different body movements. You can also explore sexually, try different things with your partner, or also doing some breath work. When you breathe, you really feel in the air in your lungs, and that's a sensual experience. There are so many ways you can replenish your feminine power, and you should be excited to explore that. The next step is to practice a new hobby. Just pick one. Literally pick one hobby that you tell yourself, this is my feminine hobby. For me, I chose oil painting. I've never been an artist. Maybe I am now because I am oil painting, but I'm really bad at it. And sometimes when you're highly masculine, you're a perfectionist, you want to plan everything from A to Z, and you want to be good at everything you do. But you need to choose a hobby that you're okay being bad at, and you're just doing it for the fun of it. One of the traits that I was too much in my masculine energy is that I couldn't have fun. Everything had to be about performance. Everything was competitive, but that really sucked the life out of me. So it's very important to choose a hobby and practice being okay being bad at it, and just enjoying the process of being creative and doing something new. And it's going to be difficult at the start, but you'll see you'll ease your way into it because you're naturally a creative person. We are meant to be creative. We are animals here that have the luxury to have a prefrontal cortex that allows us to problem solve and think creatively. So explore that. This is a gift that we have. This is what makes us different than other animals. So the feminine divine is extremely creative, and you should reignite that, because not only will it help you in your normal life, but it will help you at work to become more creative. The next step is to find some time for your spirituality. Maybe you grew up religious and you still associate with that, so you already know the practices you can have, such as praying or reading scripture. But if you haven't grown up religious, or maybe you did but you don't really understand it anymore, try to explore your spirituality by connecting to something bigger than you. It doesn't have to be a god. It could be anything. It could be nature. Just something that feels more powerful than yourself. You have to remove yourself from being inside your ego and really look at yourself from an outside perspective. The purpose of spirituality is for psychological growth. It's for creativity because you're thinking differently. It's for emotional maturation and to develop your consciousness, because it gives you an opportunity to find the meaning of life. When you're in your masculine energy, you're so hyper focused on what's so close to you and what's so personal to you, but you have to take a step back of why you're doing that. Literally, we're not here for that long. So why are you suffering so much to reach those goals if you don't even know the reason why you're doing it? So taking time for spirituality, taking the time to step back and finding the purpose behind everything you do is important for you to replenish yourself in your masculine energy, but also nurture your feminine one. My advice is that to increase spirituality in your life, you should start journaling, because you want to liberate yourself from your thoughts in your head. The masculine energy loves to thrive in your head. It loves to intellectualize everything. But if it always is here and always mingling, it becomes so overwhelming. You need to take the time to take it out of your head and just free yourself from it. And when you journal, you can work through things that maybe have been bugging you for months or years or literally your whole life. Because you're going to face your past, you're going to face your trauma, you're going to face your insecurities. It's really important that you take the time to journal and liberate those thoughts, because they can be consuming you entirely. The next step to increase your femininity is to fall in love with your body. Appreciate your body. Be in touch with your body. Because like I said, the masculine energy is all about the mind, but the feminine energy is all about being in touch with your body and your intuition. And loving your body as a woman is very difficult. Thankfully for you, my next video will literally be about how to love your body. So stay tuned. It's going to come out in a couple days. But it's definitely a practice that you need to do to become proud of your body. Women, we are beautiful. We are the most beautiful creatures here. It's such a shame that we've learned to hide away our bodies, to feel that we need to protect or desexualize ourselves, but it gives us this impression that we cannot be comfortable in our bodies, and that gives us so many mental health issues, especially if you're an athlete. There's so many body dysmorphia that's prevalent in our industry, because we don't look as feminine as people that don't have muscle, literally. So I know how difficult it is to fall in love with your body, but that's something that you need to prioritize if you want to be in touch with your femininity. The next thing you want to do is to connect with nature. Nature is extremely healing, and we women are very similar to nature. We have a deep healing power that we need to reconnect with. Not only do we have the emotional intelligence naturally to heal ourselves, but we can learn to use that power to heal others. That's actually my goal with the whole femininity, is to learn how to heal ourselves, to then eventually learn how to heal the people we love around us, especially men. Because men nowadays have become weaker and less masculine, and they need help. And they're not good at saving each other. They're not good at talking about it, but women, we are. And we can have that energy that can help men heal. We can do that. But that starts with us healing ourselves, because if we are broken, we're not helping men getting better. I live in the city, and sometimes it feels difficult to be connected with nature, but honestly, just going on a walk fills my cup. I just take in the air, the somewhat clean and fresh air, but I'm like, maybe one day, it's not that far off to think about that, but maybe one day I won't be able to go outside and breathe the air. We don't know how it's gonna be. With the recent fires this year, at some point, it was dangerous to go outside without a mask and breathe the air. The next thing, and I think this might be the most important thing to reconnect with your femininity, is to heal your gut health and optimize your hormones. Being in your femininity is being connected to your intuition, and your intuition is deeply connected to your gut. And your gut is also linked to all the food that you eat and all the hormones in your body. But the thing is, we do not treat our gut health nearly as important as we should. Once you learn how to optimize your hormones and you clear your gut and you're healthy and you're connected to it, you will be able to notice red flags in situations. You will be able to listen to what your body's telling you, if you should say yes or no. You will be able to make the right decisions and feel confident about it. But a lot of us are so unhealthy because we're so stressed, and we do what's convenient over what's right for us, and we end up messing up all of our system, and we end up not making the right decisions and having a lot of regrets or getting into toxic relationships and so on. So it's very important that we prioritize our gut health and our hormones, because that sabotages our femininity if we neglect it. The next step is just simply do a social media detox. We all know that social media, this is just a reminder, I don't need to go too much into details, but we all know that social media can be so harmful to your mental health and your femininity, because you compare yourself to others and you make yourself look smaller, and you make yourself feel less feminine than what you should be, because you compare yourself to all these women that look different than you. But you have to remind yourself that you are your own life, that those people are portraying the best selves. I mean, you know everything I'm about to tell you. You need to take the time to do a social media detox just to see how you feel. And you'll realize that your mental health will feel better, and maybe you love yourself more than you thought you did just because you're not on social media. So challenge yourself to maybe go 30 days without social media and just see how it makes you feel. Almost done. The next step you want to do is to explore different aesthetics. One of my favorite things, if I want to explore a little bit of my style or my makeup or just my essence, is to go on Pinterest and see what feels good to me. I really go there with a curious mind, not in the intention of comparing myself, but very much in the intention of feeling inspired. And you have to be careful, because a lot of times you realize that you dress just because how everyone else is dressing, but that doesn't really make you feel that good. And maybe it doesn't even enhance your body features. You need to be proud of your body and proud of what you're putting out there, because you realize that whatever you show up as outside of your house is an impression you put on people. People will judge you based off how you look. So take the time to choose carefully, what message do you want to send out to the public? When you're in your masculine energy, it doesn't matter if you're just wearing sports gear, all black, or very simplistic things that don't really show a personality, because you're there to get shit done. But when you're in your feminine energy, you want to play around and be creative and show a little bit of your personality, and being in clothes or makeup that make you feel like yourself is very powerful, because it shows that you are comfortable in your own skin to express yourself. And self-expression is a huge indicator of femininity. And it's not that serious. Maybe you'll try something and you'll realize it's not really made for me. I've tried so many different styles and I was like, that doesn't feel right. You know, when you feel awkward on the outside, it's like, no, this is not meant to make you feel awkward, but you are meant to try different things. And now there are days where I feel like I dress like a boy, but I feel extremely feminine. And there are days where I dress like this, where I wear pink and I feel bright and I feel feminine in that way. But other days I dress in oversized clothes and I still feel feminine, but it feels true to how I want to portray myself. And that's what's important, is that it feels right. So that's a good thing to just try and explore. Also, makeup. There's a lot of debate about makeup. Is it good? Is it bad? My opinion is it all depends on the intention behind it. For me, putting on makeup in the morning is extremely meditative. It's calming. It's fun. It's a way for me to self-express. I love putting on makeup and I love how I look with makeup on. It doesn't mean that I hate myself without makeup. It doesn't mean none of that. But that makes me feel so good. And there was so much shame around putting makeup as an athlete, because you're supposed to be like this boy, like this masculine person. You're sweating all the time. Why would you wear makeup? But who the fuck cares? Look better, feel better, play better. That was my mentality. So I love wearing makeup. Even when I work out, I like having makeup on. And that's just part of who I am. That's part of my femininity and I like it. But just don't be afraid to wear makeup if you want to. I remember I literally wear gloss to my training sessions, because I like that feeling on my lips. I feel plump. So yeah, it's really up to you. You just feel free to explore. This is your life. This is you trying to figure out how you can be in your femininity. And then lastly, just realize that to be in your femininity is to not overcomplicate things. It's not to have a structure. It's not to have a checklist of things to do. Keep it simple. Keep your routine simple. Just realize it's all about being in the present moment and slowing down and romanticizing your life and being in touch with who you are and being self-aware. It's all about being present. That's it. As long as you prioritize self-exploration, mindfulness, creativity, and intention, you will be more in your femininity. You don't have to figure out all the answers right now. You don't have to know what is going to work right now. You just have to try. And it will come over time. Just like being in your masculine energy. You've done it since you're a kid and it's been rewarded over time. You weren't the most successful person at first. It was the result of practicing masculine energy over time that you become so masculine. Same thing for femininity. You will get more comfortable, I promise. Now, I just want you to be aware of 3 things that femininity is not. Femininity is not a one-size-fits-all. I kind of alluded to that earlier, but You cannot force femininity upon everyone the same way. Everything I mentioned above are more like principles. You're the one that's going to have to refine it and make it unique to you, because you are unique. Femininity will look different to you. And it doesn't matter your sexual orientation. It doesn't matter what you identify as. You're going to have some feminine energy within you, and it's up to you to discover that. Femininity is also not cutting everyone off. I hate this trend where it's like disappear for 6 months and focus on yourself. Femininity is all about feeling connected to people, not just to yourself, but everyone around you. It's all about community. It's about loving people. And you receive a lot of feedback from being around people. That's how you'll learn to be more feminine, is how you interact with others. It's really important. And you'll realize that if you work on your femininity and you're around people, people will feel attracted to you. People will feel like they want to be around you. They'll feel like you're a magnet. And it's really just the result of you focusing on loving yourself and being more feminine, and also projecting that onto others, because we really do project onto others how we feel about ourselves. And you will feel better, you will feel proud, you will feel at peace with yourself, and people will want to be around someone like you. I promise you that lone wolf mentality is toxic. You need positive people around you. And lastly, femininity is not you giving up on your big goals and dreams. Actually, femininity brings you closer to that. Implementing femininity in your life will only benefit you in your career, because it makes you more mesmerizing. It makes you more creative. It makes you more emotionally intelligent, which makes you, at the end of the day, better at problem solving, better at persuasion, and able to deal with anyone at any time. So if you're ambitious and you have a big vision for yourself, which I'm sure you do because you're here in this video, I promise you that having your femininity come to surface will only bring you closer to your life's purpose. I hope you enjoyed the video. I'm very grateful you watched until the end. I will see you in my next video, which is all about how to love your body, especially if you were an athlete. I think you should give that a listen. I love you so much. I'll see you soon, and have a great day.